Ainu!
Yo!
Today is August 17th, and we have day one of our two-day culture article, and it's called The Ainu, the Indigenous People of Hokkaido.
没错，今天在我们文化之窗的单元呢，我们要跟大家介绍一下北海道的原住民，叫做爱奴族。好，再看到这个我们英文的标题就说 The Ainu, the Indigenous People of Hokkaido。这个 Indigenous 这个字非常非常重要，因为事实上在108课纲里面常常会有介绍到，比方说像在111年有介绍到马赛人，然后呢之前呢我们还有讲到这个北美的原住民等等，所以呢在这边的话我们知道一下北海道的原住民爱奴族，其实事实上也很重要哦。
Our subtitle today is The Ainu are Japan's forgotten people.
我们在这个副标题里面就写到说，被遗忘的日本爱奴族，那到底他们身上发生了什么事情呢？我们赶快来看一看。
The Ainu, the indigenous people of Hokkaido. The Ainu are a group of people from Hokkaido, Japan. They are thought to be related to the people who first spread across northern Asia. During the Edo period, the Ainu controlled the northern island of Japan, which is now named Hokkaido, and they called it Ainu Moshiri at that time. The word Ainu means human or people. The Ainu traditionally live by hunting, fishing, and plant gathering. Their religion is based on the belief that everything has a spirit, which is known as a kamoi. In the past, Ainu men did not shave and would grow long beards. Ainu women were known for black tattoos across their mouths. They dressed in robes made from the bark of elm trees and played a unique musical instrument called the tonkori. In the early 1800s, the Japanese took control of the area around Sapporo. From that time on, the Ainu population began to decrease as Japanese people and culture spread throughout Hokkaido. Today, it is estimated that there are only a few hundred pure Ainu left in Japan. However, many Japanese people have Ainu blood, although they probably aren't aware of it.
Okay, friends, welcome back to our article. And again, we're on pages 34 and 35. Students, please listen. Today, we have a lot of passive voice in our article. Today is a great day to learn about the passive voice. Please get your pens and highlighters ready. Anthony, could you tell us about the passive voice?
所以就是被动语态。我觉得被动语态这个地方会看到非常非常多。接下来你就会慢慢去寻找说，哎呦，这边又是被动语态，它是 be 动词加上 VPP 的情况。当你今天如果特别想讲的主题，它本身平常呢是被动角色，但是它这边的话是我们主要的概念。比方说，如果我们介绍书籍 ，This book is written by 什么什么人，这时候书会变成主角，但它是被写的，所以我们会使用被动语态哦。
And don't forget after by. 可能如果你没有说人名，你只是用手指说这个人。We're going to use an object pronoun. Him, her, us, them. So this book was written by him. 不是 he. So have your highlighter ready. And we want to highlight all of these passive voice. You're going to see a bunch of them in the next 2 days. Let's start our article. The Ainu are a group of people from Hokkaido, Japan.
好，我们来看第一段第一句话，它就告诉你说 ，The Ainu are a group of people from Hokkaido, Japan. 好，就是爱奴族呢，他们是来自于日本北海道的一群人。
Now, we said in our subtitle, or excuse me, our title, we have indigenous people. There are two other common words. One is a really useful word. One is a little bit dangerous. The two words are native and Indian. When we say someone is native, 这个 NAT 是感觉到 national, okay? Native, N-A-T-I-V-E. And we also have the word Indian, I-N-D-I-A-N. You should know this word, but it is a little dangerous for some people. I don't recommend you say Indian because some people they won't like you to use that word, especially if you are not indigenous or native. You should know this word, but you probably shouldn't use it. It can be a little naughty.
没错，所以在这边的话，我们跟各位说一下，如果说今天提到原住民的话，你用 native， 比方说像美国原住民，你可以说 Native Americans， 好，就是指美国的原住民。如果你用 Indians 的话，其实有些，尤其是原住民本身，他们会觉得这个词有一点点不太舒服。你平常看到 Indians， 还有一种情况是 people from India， 好，这种情况的话就 OK。但如果是提到美国原住民的话，建议不要使用 Indian 这个字，这个字你可以认得，但是你不要知道，不要叫去用它。
Some American indigenous people, some natives do use the word Indian, but that doesn't mean you should. Okay? Let's continue to our next sentence. They are thought to be related to the people who first spread across northern Asia.
好，我们来看第二句话。They are thought to be related to the people who first spread across northern Asia. 这边话先注意一下 ，be related to。平常的话是指跟什么东西有关，在这个地方的话，主要是在血统上跟它有关系，有点像近亲啊，或是有血缘关系的感觉。They are thought to be related to 这些爱奴族呢，他们在血统上呢被认为是怎样？好。To the people who first spread across northern Asia， 跟当初第一代他们住在北亚地区的人是有血缘关系的。
Don't forget to highlight your passive voice. Are thought to be. So 谁这样子想 Well, just people. So highlight it. 我们没有说谁做这个东西 So it's passive voice. During the Edo period, the Ainu controlled the northern island of Japan, which is now named Hokkaido.And they called it Ainu Moshiri at that time.
好，接下来我们看下一句话就说了 ，During the Edo period， 各位应该有听过江户时代，对不对？好，在江户时代里头呢 ，the Ainu controlled the northern island of Japan。好，当初呢是爱奴族是掌握了 the northern island of Japan 那个日本的这种北方的这些岛屿 ，which is now named Hokkaido。现在呢这些岛屿叫做是北海道 ，and they called it。Ainu Moshiri， 好，就是他们叫做这个地方就是爱奴人的土地 at that time， 当时是这样称呼的。
The word Ainu means human or people. Now, we have two words here for 那个人. Human usually is like in science class, and people is in social studies class.
没错，所以在提到人类的话，或是人的话，如果在这个科学上，我们会用 human 或者 human beings， 用这种方式去表达。那 people 的话是只要社会科学的时候，我们会使用 people 这样的方式表达。那 Ainu，the word Ainu 这个字本身，它的翻译的意思就是人。
So sometimes you'll hear the Ainu called the Ainu people, which means the people.
Yeah,
that's a great name, okay?
Yes.
Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we have more about the people. Welcome back, friends, to Enjoy English School. It's day one of our culture article about the Ainu. Remember, today we have lots of passive voice, so have your highlighter ready and don't forget to highlight them. Let's continue to our sentence. The Ainu traditionally live by hunting, fishing, and plant gathering.
好，我们来看第二段这个地方，最开头他讲说 the Ainu traditionally 就是在传统上的意思啊。爱奴人呢 live by hunting, fishing, and plant gathering。这个地方 hunting 跟 fishing 就是我们常常讲的渔猎，然后呢 plant gathering 的话就是指那个采集这些植物嘛，所以渔猎采集是他们的生活方式。
This is a little different than farming. Also, sometimes plant gathering is called foraging. Foraging sounds a little bit like a forest. So let's spell foraging. F-O-R-A-G-I-N-G. Foraging.
Foraging 的话也是采集这些莓果啊、食物啊这样的感觉。
Let's continue. Their religion is based on the belief that everything has a spirit, which is known as a kamui.
好，接下来我们又看到了一句是跟被动语态有关的，对不对？他说 their religion， 他们的宗教呢 is based on 是在什么什么基础之上的。好，他们相信怎么样 the belief that everything has a spirit， 万物皆有灵。Which is known as a kamui。我们刚刚在录影之前，我刚刚就在跟 Chris 老师在聊，很像是你们如果看过那个保加康帝公主 Pocahontas 的话，你可能有听过 The Colors of the Wind， 好，风之彩这首歌哦，它里面其实就讲到类似这样的概念，就是万物皆有灵，你要崇敬，你要敬仰这样的神灵。那在这边的话提到 ，which is known as kamui， 好，这是他们的那个语言里头 ，kamui 就是神明的意思。
So if we don't want to use the word religion, we could also say faith. Their faith, F-A-I-T-H, is based on 还是 they believe that. That's a very active voice way to say it. But in this sentence, we have two passive voice. Don't forget your highlighter. Is based on 要画到 and also is known as. Highlight this phrase. We can see all of our passive voice. 谁做的，谁做这个事情没那么重要，就是有这个 this is important, this thing, but who does it is not. Let's continue. In the past, Ainu men did not shave and would grow long beards.
好，接下来我们看下一句话，说 In the past， 在过去呢 ，Ainu men did not shave， 他们是不刮胡子，男生啊，爱奴的男性是不刮胡子的 ，and would grow long beards， 好，就是他们会留很长的这种胡子。
So, did you ever try to grow a beard, Anthony?
Yeah, I tried, but nah, it doesn't look good on me.
Yeah, I agree. My wife really doesn't like me to do it. But when we go on a long vacation, like a 2-week vacation, 3-week vacation, I try to let my beard grow a little bit. And it looks good for like 2 days, and then it starts to get really ugly. And my wife just like, please shave. It's so ugly. She doesn't like it. I keep telling myself one day I'm gonna grow a beard and come to enjoy English school and just have a beard.
Oh, cool.
Wife's like, no, please don't. So.
Cool. I'm so looking forward to that.
I don't think you'll ever get to see it. My wife won't let me do it. She does not like it.
Okay.
She just, after about 1 week, she's just like, please stop.
Please stop, please.
So I might not be a very good Ainu man because my beard doesn't grow nice.
没错。
Let's continue. Ainu women were known for black tattoos across their mouths.
好，接下来我们看下一句话，告诉你说 Ainu women， 好，那这个爱奴族的这个女性呢 ，were known for， 好，这个地方也要特别注意，刚刚前面有看到 is known as， 如果你今天提到什么什么东西以什么知名的话，这个后面的这个介系词很重要。如果是 as 的话，代表前面的主词跟后面 as 后面东西是等同的。好，是以这样的身份而闻名，但是在这个地方 ，were known for 后面这个 for 要接的东西是它的特点。我们来看一下特点是什么。爱奴族的女性呢 ，were known for black tattoos across their mouths， 意思就是指那个他们在脸上，尤其是嘴巴这个部分，他们会纹上这个刺青，而且一路纹到这个耳朵，慢慢随着成年这样子纹起来，变成一个这样笑脸的一个形状。
Now, I'm not making a joke here, but when I look at the pictures, they remind me of, like Mario, and he has a brother, Luigi, right? They look a little bit like Luigi's mustache, Tarahutse. They're a little bit round, they kind of curl up. That's what it looks like to me. I'm not making a joke here. 我没有开玩笑，
没有错。
Yeah, I just saying that's what it looks like to me. So maybe you can kind of think about that if you don't see pictures of them. Now, these black tattoos, they hurt a lot. And young girls started getting their face tattoos. The idea was that when you start getting this tattoo, it's getting you ready to have a baby because you are growing up and soon you will be a wife and you will have children and it hurts a lot. This tattoo will help you get ready when it's time to have a baby because remember, these are traditional people. Maybe they don't have hospitals or medicines like we do today that where 你生小孩不会那么这么糟糕。
OK， 所以事实上呢，他们在相信做这种纹这个嘴巴这个地方啊，因为在纹的过程中很痛，所以说在年轻的这个女性啊，她慢慢快要成年的过程中，就慢慢一点一点的纹上去，让她做好疼痛的准备。为什么呢？因为生孩子会很疼痛，所以让她先知道说，你慢慢成年了，你有你的责任，你可能之后生孩子会比这个更痛，先做好心理准备。
Let's continue. They dressed in robes made from from the bark of elm trees and played a unique musical instrument called the tonkori.
好，接下来我们看下面这句话哦。这些女性呢，除了这个纹的这个刺青之外 ，they dressed in robes made from the bark of elm trees。Elm trees 就是榆树 ，the bark 就是皮，树皮的意思。然后呢 ，robes 的意思就是长袍，所以他们会穿着用榆树皮做成的这种长袍。And played a unique musical instrument. 他们也会弹奏这种特殊的一个乐器。Musical instrument 就是乐器的意思。这个乐器的名称 called the donkori。好 ，donkori 的话就是五弦琴。如果你上网去打那个 donkori， 你有机会看到他们有点像非常非常大的那种琵琶的那种感觉。哦，这非常非常大
big, right? Like this.
Really, really big. 很大。
Oh, I didn't know it was that big. I knew it was big. I didn't know it was super big.
It's super big.
I've never seen a real one.
非常非常非常大。我后来去看那个影片，上面有一个男生在弹这个五弦琴，你就想象一下，他非常非常大的一个五弦琴。
I didn't know it was that big. That's interesting. Let's say the word musical instrument because I actually was 我们的昨天的那个口试 actually yesterday in my classroom the students had to say musical instrument and they all did a terrible job. I know it's a hard word and I practice with them a lot. So let's practice here too. Musical 这样子是蛮简单 Instrument. That's a good word that you might need to practice. But you could always just say, I play an instrument. You don't actually have to say musical.
没错。所以在这边的话，你如果要讲到我有演奏一项乐器，我会弹一项乐器的话 ，you can also say I can play an instrument. 用 musical 这个字把它拿掉，如果比较好讲，你就可以用这种方式表达。
And don't forget, when we talk about the instrument you play, we say the. Don't say I play a guitar, I play a piano, because 如果你会演奏吉他还是钢琴，那每一个差不多 right? So you play the guitar or play the piano. With that, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we got paragraph 3. Let's continue. In the early 1800s, the Japanese took control of the area around Sapporo.
再来我们看这一段的第一句话 In the early 1800s 好，在早期1800年代初期呢 The Japanese took control of the area around Sapporo 好，就是当初的日本人呢他们took control of 就是占领了好，就是控制了 the area around Sapporo 在札幌附近的这个区域。
From that time on, the Ainu population began to decrease as Japanese people and culture spread throughout Hokkaido.
好，从那个时候开始呢 From that time on 好，这个地方从那时候起 The Ainu population began to decrease 好，这边我们先看一下几个重要的字汇像是 population 就是人口的意思然后 decrease 就是指降低减少的意思所以从那个时候开始那爱奴族的人口就开始逐渐降低了 Why?As Japanese people 这个 as 就是 because 的意思因为日本人呢好日本人还有日本的文化 and culture spread throughout Hokkaido 在这个北海道这个地区开始散播开来文化跟文化之间会有一个有点像是文化侵略的那种感觉吧所以慢慢爱奴族的这些文化就被侵蚀掉了
Okay, I have 2 notes. You need your pen for both of them. Just like Anthony said, as means because. 写下来 underline as and write because and look at the word throughout that's a word a lot of students in my class say wrong and so I always tell them when we have through or throughout 下面你写 moon M-O-O-N 你写下来 moon 在 throughout 下面 you're gonna remember how to say it because you're gonna say 为什么要写 moon 对 throughout moon 有就是那个长传 O 的发音 that's right Today, it is estimated that there are only a few hundred pure Ainu left in Japan.
好，接下来呢，我们来看这句话哦。他说，时至今日呢，好 ，Today it is estimated that 我们来看一下 estimated 这个字哦。 estimate 如果把那个一去掉，它就是原本的动词，就是指估计的意思。我们常常会提到说据估计怎样怎样，你会说 it is estimated that 加子句，这个部分的话，请你务必一定要画下来。那在这边的话，他提到说 there are only a few hundred pure Ainu left in Japan。在日本的话，只有数百名真的纯粹、非常非常纯粹的这种爱奴族了。所以这个爱奴族其实已经没有那种其实因为跟日本人这样子慢慢久了之后，开始已经慢慢同化了，所以真正纯的那种爱奴人大概只有几百名在日本，非常非常少。
Now, what's interesting about this is that some pure Ainu, they look white. They look like white people. If you ask me, they look a lot like me. And you can search this again on Google. Now, today, a lot of Ainu are mixed. They have Japanese blood, they have Ainu blood, and so they look a little more Japanese. But if you look at the really old pictures, when people were first starting to study Ainu culture, they look like me. They look really white. Now, not all of them, but some do. And we were looking at pictures before.
Yeah.
Like they have faces that look more like mine. They have eyes that look more like mine. It's a really interesting thing. But of course, as people mix and live together, they have babies and children together, and they start to look more like each other. They don't look like only white people anymore.
没错，所以说事实上，如果去找爱奴族的这个照片的话，他们其实种类非常非常多。有一些爱奴族的人看起来就像白种人，像 Chris 老师这样子。然后呢，他们慢慢经过好几代的混血啊之后，其实你会发现到说种类啊等等，可能是跟日本人混血久了之后，他们开始慢慢比较像日本人。但事实上，在早期的时候，事实上是有像那个白种人这样子的这个脸孔存在的。
However, many Japanese people have Ainu blood, although they probably aren't aware of it. And I heard this is why I read this a long time ago, that because Japanese and Ainu are together, and Ainu come from like Eastern Europe, maybe that they grow beards more like foreigners. They have hairier bodies like foreigners, like white people. And this is why Japanese can grow such good beards and they have more hair than many other Asians. I don't know if this is true, but I remember reading this and I was like, this makes sense to me. But it wasn't like a textbook. This was someone's idea. And I was like, this seems logical to me.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's 100% true.
Yeah, 没有错。所以老师就提到说，事实上这个爱奴族，他有之前看过，不是从教科书，但是有一些说法是说他们是来自于欧洲，所以到后来的话，他们身上的这个毛发啦，各方面都比较浓密一点点，然后胡子也长得比较好看。像我的话，我长不出太多的胡子，这种情况。所以你看，回到这一句上面，他讲说 ，However, many Japanese people 许多的这些日本人呢 have Ainu blood， 他其实上是有爱奴的血统的 ，although they probably aren't aware of it， 但是说不定他们自己本人都不晓得。
Yeah, and it's funny because you have like no hair.
Yeah.
I remember I started having like really hairy arms when I was like 10. So, okay, let's take a quick break. And when, actually, no, let's take a 24-hour break. Because in 24 hours, we'll be back with day 2 of more about our Ainu friends. For Enjoy English School, I'm Chris Gorski.
I'm Antony.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.